I should really do a lot more to try to get some more videos published as quickly as possible, but so many things to do with a little bit of time. So on the phone sometimes I'm gonna create the kind we'll continue with our tutorial series because I don't want to let it just die out like that. I want it to continue. And the audio may not be the best because of the issue. I'm working on it. It's a little bit better than it was, I believe. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on. This is also a new account, I guess. I created a dedicated edu at Fedorae account. It doesn't have the Go in here just yet. So I had mentioned before that whenever you run a Go project for the first time, it will create the directory and all of that structure for you. And I think that's what I'm gonna do for this one because it doesn't have it just yet. So by ls, I'll just see all of these typical directories that should be here. When I create a project, it will actually go into it. There's nothing here for now. So for the time, I'm actually just gonna just go to github.com slash, and I believe it's edu Fedorae. And I don't remember what the name exactly is. And I'm actually thinking about changing this name to just go by example, because that's probably gonna be easier for most persons. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. So here is where I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna cd into downloads for the time being, so I'll just have it in here, and or git clone, and I'm just gonna call this go by example just to make it easier for me and everyone. And if I change the URL, you'll know. Now we can cd into go by example, and we can do a go mod tidy, I believe, or go mod init actually. And I have to give the repository name, so it should be go slash go slash source slash git com slash edu Fedorae. I believe I think I have to give the repository name, and again I may change it. So if you interject for me changing this, please let me know. And that seems to be wrong, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this because that looks like the correct thing. Okay, so now we can do the go mod id. Here we go, and I'll just ls, and then we can go ahead and do a go run. Which one was the last one that we did? Variables, I believe. And you can see that we have it initialized here, and it's running perfectly fine as it should be. So let's just cd back now, ls. Now you can see that we have this go directory that I was talking about. I can also ls go. Pretty sure we only have package, not source actually, because I don't know why exactly, but that's what we have. What I want to do is actually just go ahead and make directory in go. I call it source. Actually, I figured out how to do this, I believe. I think I mentioned it in the last video. So it's a tacp, and it's github.com slash edu Fedorae. So that's what we're gonna create, and then I'm just gonna move downloads, go by example. I'm just gonna move it to here, to go, /source GitHub edu Fedorae, and I'm just gonna cd into here, and here we go. So this is our project. We're just gonna cd into GoByExample. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna go ahead and start now. Constant. So this is what we're looking at for this video. So first things first, we're gonna go into create a folder, well, a file actually. So constant.go, this is what we're going to be using for this here. And first thing is that Go supports constant of character string, bools, and numeric values. So a constant is pretty much can be declared pretty much anywhere the var keyword can be declared, and constant declares a constant value, so you know that this cannot change over the length of the code, the process, or running the program. And again, as I said, it can run anywhere or be placed anywhere the var keyword can. And constant expressions perform arithmetic with arbitrary precision, so that is good. And a numeric constant has no type until it's given one, such as by an explicit conversion. In addition to that, a number can be given a type by using it in a context that requires one, such as a variable assignment or function call. For example, we could look at the math.send library, expects a float 64, and we're just gonna go ahead and do some examples of this. So the first thing, as you would know, package main, and then we're gonna import some libraries. First is the FMP. We're gonna be printing some stuff, and down. Next is our math library. Again, well, let me just go ahead and do the main function first. And again, as I said, we can have the constant out here. Let's say something like this. And again, all of these material is coming from the GoByExample website, so you can go ahead and check that out. So this is our const, and we can come in here now and just do something like fmt print line, and we can print out s, and I'm pretty sure that type will just now. So print line, and just like how we have it up there, we can do that on. That's pretty cool. We can also bring one down here. Let's say we have a constant const keyword, and this is a string, and you can explicitly type it out, but you don't have to put the variable type there. Go can figure that out on its own. So here we could put something like what's that, 70,000 should be fine. And again, as I mentioned before, we can do arbitrary precisions. So again, as I said, it can appear anywhere a var keyword can appear. And remember that we cannot do the shorthand syntax out here. But the var keyword can always go on the outside of our function. Now, again, as I mentioned before I straight away, we can do arbitrary precision. So let's put one of the here and divide it by n, which is up here, and you'll see the value that will print out. So here, and you can also look at something like int values or casting, as I had mentioned before, that we can do the conversion. That's what we're going to do now by just doing a fmt, and this is what we call an explicit cast. We pretty much just do int the type and just pass the value that we want to it right here. So this is our type, data type here, and the value for it, our constant value actually. And again, as I said, it you can look at how the assignment or the function, how it works with that as well. Function calling the assignment to print and try with the math library. Math that, then I will just pass into this here, and that is pretty much. I'm gonna show you that we can't necessarily change it after we initialize it. So let me go ahead and save this, and we can go ahead and run this. And we have an issue. Undefined. Oh, I made a mistake, a typo here. Let's save that again and run. Wait. Did I do that twice? Oh, I didn't fix it. My bad. All right, so there we go. Now should run truncate to integer. Okay, let's see where we have that issue here. That was line 18, was it? This is it. So what's the issue here? Let's see this again. Constant truncated to an integer. Is that a problem? Why is that a problem? Isn't that what it's supposed to do? For the time being, I am going to comment this out, run, and see we get pretty much everything that we should. Now we're gonna go back and fix this thing because I am gonna have an issue if I don't. So, all right. What we're doing here is we're looking at the fact that a numeric constant has no type until it is given one, such as by an explicit conversion. So at this point, this has no type as far as I can see. And then we're gonna cast it here to an int 64 value. Let me just quit out of this. So this is what we have here, this looking value here. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like we can cast it to an integer. Let's see if it's the number that's a problem. That's fine. And let's see what happens with this here. There we go. I think it's just the value that was given an issue. Probably was just a little bit too small for it to be converted or explicitly converted into an integer. So I guess we all learned something from that. Again, as I mentioned before, this is a learning process for myself, and I hope that what I learn or what I do here can actually help someone else. So that is pretty much it for this tutorial. All right, so after finishing the recording and finding out that I actually totally forgot to show you what would happen, that you'll get an error or prove to you that you cannot necessarily change the value after you've assigned it. So let's go ahead now and just do that. The code was kind of already written here. So basically what I'm showing you here is that you can't assign a new value to a constant. It will throw an error because say something like this, you cannot assign to s, which is what we defined up here, because we declared it as a constant. So I am going to write this, and then we can run this file, and you can see we get the same error. Cannot assign to s because it's declared as a constant. Now let's say, for example, it was something like a var. Say it was something like a var. Then you'll see the difference here. Well, that's not what I should do. You'll see the difference that it prints out the new constant here. So we print it first, the s first, and then we print the new constant here. And that's what you're seeing right around here. But again, you can change a constant after you declare it. So these are for values such as something like pi, which you know is doesn't change. So stuff like pi or some other constant value that doesn't change. That this is what you'd use it for, or something that you definitely know it will not change over the lifespan of the project. So that is pretty much it for constants in Golang. Thanks for watching.